Our next speaker is Dr. Hamid Mahmood, who is an AIT alumnus, graduated with a PhD in remote sensing and geographical information systems from AIT, and also a master's degree. He's presently an assistant professor with the Department of Space Science at the Institute of Space Technology in Pakistan, and was previously with the National University of Science and Technology. And Dr. Mahmood is going to be talking about the managing facilities and properties through GIS-based integrated systems.
No need for that.
So I'll give you a signal after about 25 minutes.
Okay. Okay.
USB ด้วยนะครับมันถึงจะมาครับโอเคถ้าเสียบเหมือนเดิมให้มัน
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Today I'll be talking about the use of GIS-based integrated system for real estate, facility management, and properties. When we talk about real estate, we know that the location is the cornerstone, and location is what drives the real estate industry. And it's not any location, it has to be the best location. And when we talk about the best location, this is where GIS comes in. It helps you in finding the best location. The flow for my presentation is as flashed. There will be a very brief introduction, one slide for GIS. Then we'll be looking at what are the actual advantages if we incorporate GIS into our workflows. And then we'll look around who is using GIS in the real estate industry and what for. And then in the end, we'll introduce our solution to you that is called FAMES, which will show you that how we can help you in managing your facilities using GIS. So first we look at GIS. GIS is an abbreviation for Geographic Information Systems. It can capture, store, manipulate, analyze, manage, and present all kinds of geographical data. In the real estate industry, geographical data would include your drawings, your floor plans, your aerial photography, your satellite imagery, your market surveys, your census data. All that data has a location element to it. So that's geographical data. And whenever you're trying to manage the data, GIS comes in. When we talk about the advantages of managing facilities and properties through GIS, we can categorize them into 8 main advantages. The first one is called, the first group is site selection or strategic planning. What we do in site selection is that we combine all your data, geographic data, that includes your drawings, your aerial photography, your census data, your customer surveys, and we come up with 3 very important outputs. The first one is market penetration, the second one is market share, and number 3 is trade areas. And this can help you in understanding your site selection, where you want to set up the new location in your real estate network or your real estate entity. We'll come to this later on the slide. I'll go to the next one, that's the portfolio analysis. So whenever you have a real estate network and you have real estate entities, you would want to analyze each one of those entities. How are they performing? Do I need to relocate or remodel a store? And what are the demographics and characteristics of my successful real estate entities? For example, if you have 3 or 4 shopping malls, then which one is doing better and which one is not doing better? So you would want to find out. And then you would also find out the cannibalization effect, with respect to your competitors. If they have opened up a real estate entity in your neighborhood, what is going to be effect on you? Then we have the competitive market analysis. This would help you in finding where are your competitors and what do they plan to do in future. Again, very important knowledge. If you don't employ GIS, then this kind of knowledge will come to you in form of tabular sheets or data, which is very hard to interpret. But if you're using GIS, then you get very good looking maps. I'll be showing you a lot of maps. I'll be demonstrating the application, where you will see these maps and how easy it is to do this kind of analysis. Then you have the demographic mapping and reporting. In demographic mapping and reporting, you can easily find out where are the sites with the highest population and income. For example, for Bangkok, if you want to find out the areas with the highest population and income and you don't use GIS, then you get a very long, a very big Excel sheet with the area name and the amount of population and amount of income, which is very hard to analyze. But with GIS, you'll get a very good looking thematic map, and you can actually find out, okay, this is the area with the highest population and this is the area with the high income. So it's very easy for decision making. Then there's site assessment. Site assessment would help you in doing the traffic counts. Does the income meet your targets? What are the significant environmental hazards near the sites? And the what is going to be the development in the nearby areas? Then the site potential analysis. For a certain size, is the population growing or is it flattened? Then you can understand the major demographic drivers for the success in that area. So there are a number of advantages of using GIS in the real estate industry. We'll come to that later on. But when we go to the field and we look at different industries which are using GIS, we found out that they're not using GIS only for marketing. They're using for a lot of other purposes. We look at them one by one. The first one is the Union Pacific Railroad. Union Pacific Railroad is the second largest landowner in US after the US government. They own about 32,000 land vaults, and they manage around 33,000 miles of railroad. And then they're using GIS to do that. The first thing that they did was that they created a geodatabase to manage or to keep a record of all their property vaults and their rail tracks. And after that, what they started to do was that whenever a rail track needed to be repaired or needed to be upgraded, they were using GIS to keep track of that. So over a period of time, they always knew that, okay, for this section, how much they have invested, who was the contractor, how much money did they put in. And for their properties, what they did was that if they wanted to develop a new property, they could actually do a very detailed analysis that, are we going to invest? Is it going to be worth the investment or not? Then we move on to Edens. Edens is one of the major real estate developers in US. They have assets around $2.5 billion US. They manage around 2,000 stores in US. And again, they're using GIS for both the purposes. Number one, for marketing, management, and number two, for facility management of their already available structures. So if they want to put up a new shopping center, they would use GIS to do all kind of site analysis, strategic planning. But then again, for already available or on the ground shopping malls, they would GIS to manage those or control those entities. Then we have Forest City, again, one of the major developers in US. Their assets include $7.5 billion US, housing plans, shopping malls, and recreation centers. And they do the same thing. Number one, for marketing. Number two, for management. Then we have Pulte Homes. Pulte Homes is again one of the major developers in US. And they are in direct contact with their customers. So they provide the customers with a web interface, GIS application, where the customer can actually select their homes or their future homes with a lot of different criterias. Then we have Windermere Real Estate, and again, they're doing the same thing. So we see that when we talk about GIS in real estate industries, there are two different group of users. There's one that use it for marketing, and the other one is that is using for the facility management. And there's always an overlap. For example, one company which starts integrating GIS in their workflows, and they only use it for marketing. Then after some time, they'll also start using it for their facility management. And if there's a company which starts with facility management, over a period of time, it will also start using it for marketing. So how we can help you? We have developed a solution. It's called Facility Information Management System, and it does both the things for you. It does the marketing element for you, and it also does the facility management for you. So I'll be introducing you to FAMES. We'll be looking at different components of FAMES, and later on I'll be showing you the demo for the FAMES. So FAMES is a web-based system. The reason it's web-based system because the user access is easier, because there are a lot of stakeholders that are involved when we talk about GIS in real estate. There are customers, there are developers, there are investors. It's an enterprise solution. It provides a GIS-based visualization, planning analysis, and reporting for three main things. Number one, superior operational insight, cost control, and efficient management of space, people, and assets. In the market, when you see the solutions, you see space and assets. Nobody's talking about the people. So the innovative thing about our solution is that we have included people. And I'll be showing you that how people are involved in this solution. FAMES would help companies in the real estate industry to visualize, analyze their assets, including acquisition, tracking, maintenance, management of real property, capital equipment, and supply chain. So there's a vast array of functionalities that you can perform using this system. And it can help very critical questions, answering critical questions. Number one, where are the company assets located? Again, if you don't want to use GIS and you just want the list of assets for your company, you get a very long list, and it's very hard to analyze that. Where is the cluster of your assets located? Are they sparsely distributed? How far are these assets from each other? Then again, the second answer that you can get is what can be the best model what-if scenarios. For example, if you want to invest in the shopping mall sector, what would be the population for a certain area 20 years down the line, and how would it affect your investment? Then how to plan routes for the facilities, how vulnerable are the facilities to response time, how far are the distributors and the suppliers, how to maximum revenue potentials, and what are the risk and security plans. We'll be coming to the modules which will be answering these questions. So this is the overall structure for the FAMES. There are core modules and the extension modules. What we've seen in the market that whenever a company adopts a GIS-based solution, it's a very customized solution. A company would go for just a very basic marketing and a very detailed facility management solution. Or there could be a company which would concentrate on marketing, but it would not want any facility management systems. So this FAMES is very customizable. Okay? If you want two core modules and just one extension module, it's very much possible. So when we talk about core modules, there's construction document, plan maintenance, work order, report writer. From our experience, we have learned that any company who wants to manage their facilities using GIS needs to have these core modules. In the extension modules, these extension modules are developed on the basis of the research that has been carried out at AIT. You've been hearing in different lectures, we talk about energy consumption, we talk about carbon footprint, we talk about security and safety management. All that research that has been taking place in AIT, we have to try to integrate and implement that in our GIS system. So the extension modules, there are 5 extension modules. The first one is the financial management, usage management, energy consumption and management, carbon footprint management, and security and safety management. We'll be discussing these modules in detail. When we talk about the core modules, this is the facility construction document module. So this module starts from the very scratch when you start your building, when you start building your building, actually. Whenever you come out with a layout or your drawing or your, when you acquire a land, you get a document, okay? So that document becomes part of this facility information management system. And when you've completed your building and you hand it over to the tenant, even that document, that agreement becomes part of the in this management system. So this would include your drawings, the procurement details, your environmental conditions, and the other specifications for the building quality that were followed when the building was being constructed. Again, in the future, if you want to upgrade your building, this could be a very helpful reference system. Then other systems, electricity, air condition, water supply, and so many other systems that for which you acquire some basic documentation, and you can include here. Then we go to the planned maintenance. You can actually plan the maintenance in future. For example, for a certain building, you would want to whitewash it, or you want to change the interior. So you can actually plan that well into the year, and you can actually budget it there. And whenever the time is there, you get a notification that, okay, you need to hire Mr. So-and-so, and the building needs to be worked at. So there's a coming schedule maintenance, there's a detail of materials, which paint brand would you want to use, what number of labor would you want to use, how much time is required. And then again, for each maintenance, it's integrated with your telco companies. You get an SMS notification, you get an email notification, and then you get a report to the management. And you can do a comparative analysis that, okay, 2 years back I did this maintenance exercise, and 2 years down the line you did another maintenance exercise. What is the cost comparison? How much more am I spending? Then there is work order management. It records the work orders, work details. So whenever you get a complaint that something needs to be fixed, even that thing is also recorded. In the extension modules, again, this is coming from the research that has been carried out at AIT. You keep record of all the financial transactions that are taking place against that real estate entity in detail. This includes facility original value, depreciation, maintenance cost per year, revenue generated, and then again a historical background, historical comparison. Then you have the usage management. For every room, you have the information that who is using this room and for what purpose this room is being used. So it gives you a record, and as you keep on using the systems over the time period, you get very detailed or very rich data set. And in each room, you have an asset inventory. How many chairs are there? How many tables are there? How many PCs are located there? And then this is the energy consumption management. Now, this is a very innovative and new idea. What we've done is that we've integrated sensors in this solution, and you get real-time energy consumption data for your building. For example, which section of the building is consuming more energy. So you just integrate the sensors in the building, and they'll give you real-time information about the energy consumption. And all the time you can get graphical comparison of the historical data. For example, in winters, how much energy were you consuming? In summers, how much energy are you consuming? Where you can actually cut down the energy consumption. Then there's the carbon footprint. Again, we have integrated a number of sensors, and you can do the carbon footprint management at different levels. For example, season-wise, floor-wise, and occupancy-wise. And you have a graphical comparison of historical data again, that are we improving the practices that we are implementing? Are they actually working or not? The thing with the energy saving and carbon footprint management is that when we implement a practice, we don't have a tool to actually monitor those practices. So this is a very good tool which can help you in justifying your investment and justifying your actions. Then we have the security and safety management. Again, what we've done is that we've integrated the safety and security management into FIMS. Almost all the buildings, they already have the CCTV cameras and the security system, but again, it's not part of our main centralized system. So what we've done is that we have tried to centralize it, and you can find the location of the security cameras, you can monitor current shots, and you can find the location of emergency disaster prevention equipment. And again, with the help of sensors, you can do real-time alarm and real-time analysis. I'll show you a small demo for the system. It doesn't have all the functionalities because it depends upon the users what kind of functionality does it need. But I'll be showing you some basic analysis that you can perform in that system. So it's a web-based system, and I'll be showing you the data for AIT. We have mapped out all the buildings in AIT. In addition to, we have mapped out each tree, every tree in AIT, and we have mapped out the roads, the drainage, and the boundary for AIT. In every organization, this data is already existing in pockets. It's just that you need to bring that data into a specific format onto a centralized machine. Every building or every organization has the drawings available either in hard format or soft format. You just need to convert it into a specific format. The first thing that we can look at is that if you want to analyze, for example, this is a housing industry, and you would want to analyze, for example, you would want to overlay satellite imagery on it. That what are the green areas in this facility? With this map, we cannot see the green areas, but if we overlay it with an imagery, you can see the green areas just with one click. No need to send somebody in the field and do the analysis for you. You can just see, okay, these areas, these are research fields, this is the golf course, this is a playing field. So you can just do the visual interpretation. And we were talking about supplier or route identification or distributors. So you can make use of available street maps that are available freely, or if you want to purchase a license from Google, you can even use that. And you can do a very detailed analysis. You can see the traffic flow. You can see the neighboring facilities. For example, in the neighborhood, we have Thammasat, so no need to map Thammasat University. You can actually see Thammasat University, and all the buildings are already mapped for you. Again, done with a single click. Imagine you would get the same information in Excel sheet. How difficult it would be to analyze or do some basic analysis using that Excel sheet. There are different kind of maps available. You can do topographic analysis, you can do terrain analysis, you can do ocean analysis. If you're working with rigs, then you can get ocean data, and then again you can get weather data, real-time weather data. All these maps can be overlaid with your facility maps with one click. So it's very easy to do. I'll go into detail. So what you're seeing is that all these buildings, they have different colors. So this one is colored pink, this one is colored yellow, and okay, right now there are only two colors. So what do these colors mean? For example, I would want to see that, okay, for this area, how much is the energy consumption, which building is using more energy, and which building is using less energy. Again, it's a very complicated analysis if we think of Excel sheets. But here, we'll do it in about 3 or 4 clicks. So I'll just go to the building cost, that's my table, and I change the display. It'll just take a couple of minutes to load. Okay. And I say energy consumption. I change the number of classes, and I would say this color ramp looks good, and I go back. And you can actually see that the buildings in the red, they're consuming the least energy. And the buildings in the blue, they're consuming the most energy in this facility. So you just zoom in, and then you can see the pockets. Okay. These are academic areas which are consuming less energy. This is administration building, which is consuming more energy. This is the AIT Convention Center, which is consuming more energy. In the residential areas, you can actually find out, okay, this is the community school. It's consuming more energy. These residential areas are consuming less energy. So you can actually monitor the energy consumption in real time, and you can find the clusters to focus your strategy or focus your planning. I would say that, okay, these buildings are consuming more energy, so you would want to integrate new technology here that would reduce the energy consumption here. When we look at the buildings, you don't really get the outline of the building. What we've done is that we have also mapped out the interior of the building. So you can actually see each room, and with each room you can do asset management, and with each room there's a database connected to it. Again, it's very easy to acquire the data from it. You just go and you click here, and you get the building data just by clicking. No need to go to an Excel sheet and finding the room number or the building location. So you get all the information here. And we were talking about the work order management. So all these work orders in different rooms have been generated through mobile phones, and they are added here as a point. And if you click on any of the work orders that have been generated, you can get the date on which these were generated, what were the department code, what was the description. And again, these vary from organization to organization. We can customize these for you. And again, you have a picture attached to it. There was something wrong with the roof, and it was reported, and it came on the system. And you can actually assign these work order to a certain person, and you can monitor if the work order has been completed or not.
About 3 more minutes.
Okay. Then there's a very detailed functionalities available to you. If you want to print out a map, no need for a specific software. Just click here and it will create a map for you. You can just print from here. You can do customized queries. You want to create queries. You want to search for a specific area, you can do that. There are a lot of gadgets available for you. You can add gadgets. You can add bar charts, indicators. You can add description, summaries. You can add gauges. So this is a very detailed system which is available to you. Just very simple application that I would want to show you. You would want to know the distance from this point to this point. Rather than sending somebody to do the calculations, you just click here and you say, okay, start point this, end point this. So it's very easy for you to do. If you want to install a new utility, you just use this tool to see that, okay, how much cable do you need, how much fiber optic do you need, what kind of investment will you be making. I think I'll stop here. I'll be available if you want to look into the demonstration in detail. I'll be available here today and tomorrow. And I'm open to any ideas. Any way we can help you, I'll be available. Thank you. Thank you so much.